गुड इवनिंग एवरीबॉडी। 3 मई 2024 वीकली राउंड अप। और इस वीक के लिए मेरे पास एक ही चीज है कहने को, कभी खुशी कभी गम। और देखने को मिल गया। फ्रैंकली टुडे मॉर्निंग व्हेन वी स्टार्टेड विद द ट्रेड एंड एवरीथिंग, मुझे लगा था व्हेन आई विल बी सीइंग अंकित, आई विल बी आस्किंग क्यों, मैंने पूछा था ना नया हाई मारेगा मार्केट, नहीं मारेगा। एंड फाइनली मार्केट जिस तरीके से हाई मार के जहां क्लोज हुआ है, I am unable to, comment. So without wasting much of time, let's see as what is there in store with Ankit. Hi, Ankit. Good evening. How are you?
Hi, good evening. All well, Rachit. How are you?
Uh, I don't have much to say.
Yeah, I can understand. I can
So
understand.
how was the
In
week?
fact, in fact, in fact, what you just said, I was thinking about it in the morning. In fact, in this morning only, I was thinking that uh, maybe after 3 weeks of excess volatility, very rapid up and down side, we have finally seen a week where some sort of decisiveness was there, some sort of conviction was there that, it is looking good. It has started to consolidate or already consolidated, and both FIs and DIs are giving positive figures and all that. So, but I think the last uh, trading session which we saw today, especially in the, after 10, 11 o'clock, uh, it changed the entire narrative for the weekly update also, and maybe for the next week also. So if you remember, I mentioned a positive bias last week when we ended the chat, and obviously the positive bias was seen. The week started somewhere around, last week ended around somewhere 22,460 odd levels. We saw 200-point rally on Monday, another high touching rally on Tuesday, where we touched 22,770 odd, 770 odd high, and then we came down. Obviously, Wednesday was a holiday for Maharashtra Day. Then Thursday, of course, Thursday was a kind of a range bound day. Uh, Not much was happening, but at least the volatility was in check. This morning, we opened up with a life high, and today was just an insane volatile session. I mean, if you look at it, we did a weekly high, rather life high of 22,794, and a weekly low of 22,348 on the same day, in the same session, which is the kind of volatility I'm talking about. The wix shot up 11% in this week to 15. Again, cause of concern. uh, while this was looking like a pretty stable week to me till about this morning, this correction, and I don't see a reason for this correction. There is no apparent reason for this correction. Just a sell off. It's just a profit taking. You can say. You see, all index heavyweights were beaten down. Reliance, HDFC, ITC, Larsen. These index heavyweights, they were all between 2 and 4% down.
Right.
So it boils down that we ended up this week at a 22,475, which is 15 points above where we ended last week. And पिछले 3 हफ्ते से, इससे 3 हफ्ते पहले से यही चल रहा है, like what I told you in
Right.
the last video and the video before last also. यही चल रहा है कि एक लेवल पे खुलता है वीक, उस लेवल पे ही बंद होता है, बीच में वॉलेटिलिटी बहुत होती है, वहां से 300-400 पॉइंट ऊपर, 300-400 पॉइंट नीचे, वो सारा मूवमेंट दिख रहा है। बट जब तक ये बिना वॉलेटिलिटी के ये 22,400-500 का सस्टेन नहीं करेगा,
Right.
मेरे को आगे कन्विक्शन के साथ बाइंग तो नहीं नजर आती है। और
Got it.
हो सकता है कि आप यू कैन से दैट थोड़ा अनसर्टेनिटी है इलेक्शन को लेके, पीपल आर एप्रीहेंसिव, नॉट अ लॉट ऑफ फंड्स विल गो ऑल dive head front in this kind of situation. You can say all of that, but eventually that will subside. I am looking at positive only. the bias is definitely positive. I am also looking at positive. That will subside, but उसको subside करने के लिए ये थोड़ा एक consolidation बहुत जरूरी है in the absence of volatility. You
it
cannot be
seems
riding a wild horse and say, okay, fine, I'll put in money now.
it seems we are going in the next segment of the show. We going ahead, so we'll
Yes,
do
yes.
it later on.
Yes, yes. But
And
इस week, in fact, US Fed का भी काफी कुछ आया था. Lot of volatility in that case, that was triggered by them also. A lot of manipulation was there on whether they are cutting the rates, not cutting the rates, cutting it once, twice. Maybe you could share some thoughts on that.
see, in this, I would like to put it like this: that after Donald Trump, it's Jeremy Powell जो मुझे बहुत ज्यादा fascinate कर रहे हैं यूएस की तरफ से, and I love the way he has been changing his stance. There is a huge amount of confusion. Why? Because some of the sources were telling us in the beginning of year that there might be 5 to 6 rate cuts. Then it in the last policy it came down to 3, and in like the policy came this week, Jeremy Powell gave out more confusing statement, gave out more confusing stance. Why? He told us that there is only one rate cut that we should be expecting. Along with this, there is no other rate cut. In coming time, we should not see any more rate cuts. Along with this, he told us that the inflation is too stringent. It is difficult for them to fight the inflation. But then the bond selling which is happening in US market, and in those bond selling which was happening around $60 billion a month, he cut down this bond selling from $60 billion to $25 billion, which eventually will enhance the liquidity in the system. One side you are saying inflation is difficult and rate cut is not coming, we are not seeing rate cut, and on the another side you're putting in more liquidity in the system. I am unable to understand as to what kind of economics they are planning, and I believe similar is the condition with the US markets. So this was quite a confusing stance that he came out with, and that was the reason the US market was unable to understand as to what is happening.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, we saw the effect trickle down to our markets also, with so much of volatility. We are not clear on where US stands.
Right.
But speaking of US, we have some great news from the domestic side also. GST figures have come in at a record high. 2 लाख करोड़ के ऊपर फिगर पहली बार आया है. 2,10,000 crores. So what do you think? इससे कुछ positive indication hai? Do we read into this, or it's just like?
It's 2,10,000 crores, highest ever collection that we have seen. And if we see year on year basis, it has risen by 13.4 odd percent, which is of course because of the leakages that they were happening. They have kept a check on the leakages. Along with this, there is a very good rise in domestic demand, which is eventually helping. And this particular, if we take it as a barometer of the demand of the economy, it is giving us tremendous positive indications and directions in the domestic demand that international market mein jo bhi ho raha ho, our demand is there. It's long and strong and it's here to stay. So
Correct.
if the demand is there, how do you see the week coming ahead?
See, like you said about demand, I see demand. One thing that we are dead sure of is the median age of India, which is about 27 years. So if we have maximum youth in the country, demand cannot be, for the next 30 years or 40 years, I don't see demand going down. Whether it's, anything from your schools to housing to, cars to holidays to everything, just about everything. So I don't see that. So yeah, quickly just ending on the thoughts on the week ahead. I again, like today's, like I said, today's movement has completely changed the narrative. I was quite positive in the last week. I am still positive this week also, but again, I still see that consolidation is required. I was kind of getting convinced in the first three trading sessions that maybe we have consolidated, although it is principally it's against my thought that I feel like there cannot be any consolidation with the presence of such high volatile markets. So the markets have to settle down. Only then we will consolidate. Only then that consolidation is legit, if I may say so. If that consolidation is legit, you will see volumes coming up. Even at a short range, volumes will come up. That will be the sign that the next rally is here. बट अभी जैसे निफ्टी ने 3 अटेम्प्ट मार दिए हैं 22,750 से 800 के बीच में से घूमा है, तो आई थिंक दैट इज नाउ पोजिंग टू बी अ बिग रेजिस्टेंस. वो क्रॉस करके सस्टेनेबल क्लोजिंग देता है तो एक 2300 23,000 प्लस रैली वहां से दिखती है. फिर एक टेक्निकल रैली ही हो जाएगी बिकॉज इट इज सच अ बिग साइकोलॉजिकल मार्क that it will trigger a technical rally.
Got it. So we summarize it like this कि volatility है, range बढ़ रही है, but अभी भी एक कहीं consolidation जब तक market में नहीं आता है तब तक हम sustainable manner में trajectory change नहीं कर रहे हैं, नए high नहीं मार रहे हैं और consolidation करें.
नए हाई मार रहे हैं सर, नए हाई मार रहे हैं, नए हाई सस्टेन नहीं हो रहे.
हाँ, नए हाई सस्टेन नहीं हो रहे.
अगर if you see last 3 weeks, 2 out of 3 weeks we have done a fresh weekly high which is near to life high,
but we are unable to.
But we are closing at the same 22,500 level, 100 points down, 100 points up maximum. So that is the issue. We are not sustaining those highs. Whether you say daily basis or weekly basis, even on daily basis, the gap ups are being sold into in the last 1 hour of the market.
Got it.
Yeah.
So रेंज ब्रेक तभी होगी जब हम सस्टेनेबल मैनर में नए हाई मारेंगे और वहां सस्टेन कर पाएंगे. टिल दैट टाइम वी आर इन दिस रेंज. हायर साइड वी कैन बुक प्रॉफिट्स, लोअर साइड वी कैन पुट इन मोर मनी एंड इनिशिएट द ट्रेड. चलिए, इट वाज अमेजिंग टॉकिंग एंड आई होप नेक्स्ट वीक भी हम कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग ऐसी ही चीजें मार्केट में होते हुए देखें और we'll get back again in the next episode of Weekly Roundup. Till then, thank you for joining and hope to see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, same to you. Bye.